Good morning, Clifton High. What we're going to be looking at today is a little bit of a Pilates session, stroke yoga, and we're going to look at some of the strength in our hips and our core and our legs as well. A couple of pieces of equipment that you're going to need, some sort of a block, doesn't have to be a foam roller, but something just to lean against whilst you're doing the activities, and then some sort of a strap. I'm going to use a skipping rope just to help you put some tension on the muscles as we're exercising during this session. So make sure you've got those, and maybe even a yoga mat just to feel a little bit more comfortable on the floor. Is entirely up to you. You can do it outside, just in the grass, it's absolutely fine. So get that equipment and then come back and join me ready for this session on Pilates, looking at your core. So we're going to start on our back, lying down on the floor with your heels up to your bottom. We're going to try and push our heels down into the ground, squeezing our thighs together. And then slowly you're going to lift your hips up. And this is into the bridge, engaging your glutes. And it's almost like you're pretending you're squeezing a penny in between your butt cheeks. Don't forget to try and contract your abs as well, and don't round your back. So you should have a nice straight line between knees, hips and shoulders. And it's almost like pretending you're holding something between your thighs as you squeeze your legs together. And keep the weight being pushed between your heels, keeping the glutes active. And now we're making sure we're breathing as well, all through your nose and out through your nose. Nice deep breaths. And we've got about 20 more seconds here. This is part of the warm-up, and you're actually working yourself super hard during this warm-up. Don't forget to breathe nice and slow, in and out of your nose, and lower. And sitting upright, we're going to look at activating the hip in these exercises here. So trying to sit as upright as possible. If you need to bend your knees, that's fine. If you want to put your hands by your side to support yourself, that's fine too. But throughout this, trying to sit up as tall as you possibly can, and just trying to sit forward where your hamstrings are meeting your glutes rather than right on your tailbone. And what you're looking to do here, straighten your legs. If you can't straighten them, then keep one leg bent, but your right leg is going to be lifted up just a few inches off the floor. Very simple exercise, but it's quite hard work, as you can see. Don't lift your leg up as high as you possibly can, just maybe looking to lift it about 75% of its maximum distance. Keeping the left leg nice and straight. And what you're probably feeling now, like I am, is that your legs are shaking. Don't forget to breathe. If you're feeling that muscle shaking, that's not a bad thing. It means you're reaching the point of fatigue. You're really working your muscles hard. Just hold it there, keep it upright. 10 more seconds, keep it nice and high. Keep those toes pointed back towards your knee. And use your hands to help you if you need. And lower. And now onto the left leg. Reaching those toes back towards your shin. And you'll find that one leg is stronger than the other. So you might find that the leg that you plant or take off with is going to be stronger. So for me, my left leg, I seem to be able to lift it a bit higher because I'm right-footed. So I'm often taking all the weight on my left leg whilst I strike a football or take off in athletics. See if you can lift that foot up a little bit higher. And if you haven't got the shake, then it will soon come in a moment. Trying your hardest to sit upright, but if you need to put your hands down to behind your body to support yourself, then please do. Keep that tummy muscle strong. 10 more seconds left. Don't forget to keep breathing. Good stuff. 2, 1, finish. Excellent. Okay, we're just changing the variation here, so we're going to turn the right foot 45 degrees out and lift. Should just be able to see there that the right toe is pointing out at 45 degrees, and we're working the inside of the thigh here, vastus lateralis. Good, hold it there. Only about 10 or so seconds to go. Probably got that shake. The last few seconds. Doesn't hurt at all, honest. And then change legs straight away, turning the left foot out. Excellent. If you're needing to use your hands, then do, but don't totally rely on them by putting them back behind you. See if you can take some of the weight off. Keep those toes turned out at 45 degrees. About 10 seconds to go. Keep it going, see if you can go a little bit higher. Straighten that leg as well. Stay tall. And 3, 2, 1. Okay. And release. Well done. And this time we're going to go with the outside of the hip, the tender fasciate latae, I believe, TFL. And we're going to turn the toes into the center of your body. And you should feel the pressure going down the outside of the thigh there. Trying to keep upright again. About 75% off the maximum distance that you can lift it up. Good, keep it going. Lift that leg up a little bit higher if you can. And relax, and then straight across into the other side. And we're working that muscle underneath your IT band, the TFL. Trying to do it without the support of your hands if you can, sitting as tall as you can. Pointing that toe inwards. Got about 20 seconds left now. This is the last exercise on the legs. Don't forget to breathe through your nose if you can, and out through your nose. Got about 10 seconds to go. Keep it going. 3, 2, 1. Release. Well done. Well done. That's hard work doing those. So we're going to go back into a bridge. Lying on your back, heels in towards your backside. Squeezing your thighs together, pushing the weight through your toes and your heels and lifting your hips. And it's going to stretch all those muscles across your hips. And now we're strengthening our glutes. Making sure our glutes are activated in this position. And now what we're going to do is bring that right leg straight out in front of you. Try to keep your hips level. So what we need to make sure we do is rotate the left hip in towards and rotate it upwards to keep those hips level. And that's going to help you engage that glute on the left hand side. It's a great exercise to do before any of the dynamic movements you do, just to make sure your glutes are firing, giving you the full power of that big muscle group. 5 more seconds. Hold it there. Okay, and plant the right foot down, get back to a stable position, and then when you're ready, lift the left leg, and then you just need to rotate that right hip to get the hips level. Make sure you rotate it just slightly inwards to activate the right glute. Squeezing that right hip in and up. Okay, we've got about 20 seconds to go. Hold those hips up, work the core, keep pushing down through the right heel, through your toes as well. And just 10 seconds to go now. Hold it there. 3, 2, 1, and low down. Left foot onto the floor, hips back onto the floor, and we're going to flip over onto your chest now. We'll give the back a little bit of a break. Okay, hands are going to go right out in front of you. Spread your fingers out. Shoulder blades are going to go down and back. Pulling them back. We're going to rotate forward into a plank position, holding that flat back position. It's almost like you're trying to get your shoulder blades to touch each other and up onto your toes. Okay, hold that position nice and strong. Keep a nice neutral position here. Keep your belly button up in this position. Don't let your hips drop. Okay, really good exercise for strengthening your core here. 3, 2, 1, and relax down onto your knees, and you're going to stand up. If you want to, you can put the block in between your legs and squeeze it in between your legs. If not, then you can do this without, but make sure you're squeezing your thighs together as you do this. Palms face forward, weight evenly distributed. Head up, chin away from your chest, and trying to stand up nice and tall. And you're slowing down your breathing here. If you want to do it with your eyes shut, just to focus on your contact with the ground, that's good. Two more breaths. Squeezing those thighs together and pushing down all your weight through your heels. And relax your shoulders every time you exhale. Well done. Okay, relax. Okay, we're going to pick our arms up now into what's known as a goal pose position. And we're trying to get our arms parallel with one another. And we're rotating those rotator cuffs in your shoulders back so that the forearms are parallel as we go side on. So we're stretching our chest in the same time as working on the strength in our arms. Side on, we're trying to rotate those arms back so they're parallel with each other. Try not to arch your back too much. Should be trying to keep your chest neutral in this position. Squeeze the elbows back and pull the shoulders back together. Keep spreading those fingers wide. It's a really good way to engage your back without using any weights, no equipment, just holding that good posture. It's really good to improve our posture, particularly considering that we might be sitting at a computer for lots of hours. Okay, and relax. That goal pose position is really good for those people who struggle to bring their arms straight over their head. And we're going to go into looking at some more work in the hips with a runner's lunge. Step forward with your right leg and left leg all the way back. And we're squeezing our legs together, making sure the weight is going down through your right heel with the knee right over the top of your ankle. And let's see if you can keep driving down through that heel. Keep the toes active in the back foot and then slowly leaning forward. And we're slowly going to drop the left knee to the ground, keeping the weight in the right hip as much as you can. And into a kneeling lunge position where you're going to start to feel a stretch in the top of your left hip and your hands lifting up above your head. Breathing with control, squeezing both legs towards the center point of the body. You should be feeling a real big stretch down the front of the left quadricep into the hip flexor. And we're going to bring our arms into the goal pose position. And we're going to come into a bit of a back bend here, keeping the neck nice and long, chin off the chest. And each time we release that breath, then go a little bit further with it. And we're going to increase the stretch in the front of that left quadricep, hip flexor. Keep your abs tight during this. Keep the core of that body nice and strong. Lifting the chest up, looking at the ceiling if you can. Keeping those arms up. If you can bring your arms up above your head, then please give it a go. And relax your arms. We're going to stand back up and we're going to change sides. So runner's lunge again, left leg forward, right leg going back, squeezing the legs towards one another and lengthening your torso as much as you can. Keeping that weight over the left knee, squeezing both those legs towards the center point of the body and maintaining that controlled breathing all the time. Keeping that weight in your hip on the left hand side, and now we're going to slowly lower that right leg to the ground this time on the out breath, And now sitting upright, trying to feel that stretch through the right hip flexor now. Keep the weight over that left hip. And now think about trying to raise those arms up above your head. Relax those shoulders, drop down into that goalpost pose. And then we're trying to get that back stretch in there as well. So slight back bend, lifting your chin off your chest and looking up to the ceiling. Squeezing your legs in towards one another. Breathing at the same time. About 20 seconds here. Back bend is really good, really beneficial for your good posture. And helping to strengthen your spine. Really good to do back bends every day in this environment when we're sat at computer screens, sat at a desk. Try and be a little bit taller if you can. 5 more seconds to go. And relax. Step all the way back up onto your feet. We're going to look at doing a down dog on the wall. Forgive me for the lack of flexibility in my hamstrings here. So feet about 6 inches apart. And we're trying to squeeze the front of our thigh towards the wall. Relaxing our neck, trying to look straight down at the ground. Draw your ribs in towards one another. So we're not arching our back. Kneecaps facing straight forward, so just rotate the thighs inward slightly. Squeezing those thighs forward towards one another, and that's going to tighten the core, engaging the upper back and pushing that chest downwards. If you squeeze your arms towards one another, we're going to work that upper back as well. Should feel some engagement through the front of the thighs, the inner abs, stretching through the calves and the backs of the legs, the thighs, the hamstrings. Just 10 more seconds here, trying to keep in that L-shaped position. 3, 2, 1. Bending your knees and stand all the way up. And now we're going to go into a side bend, just in a standing position. Heels about 1 inch apart, feet together. And hands right up above your head. Left arm straight up in the air, rotating the bicep so it stays left arm, that's it. So it stays just behind you. And then we're going to lean down towards the right hand side, standing tall. Focus on keeping height in this position. As you inhale, try and get taller. And as you exhale, then we're increasing the bend. We're going to make this a really active stretch. It shouldn't be relaxed. And we're trying to keep weight over both feet. And then what we're going to try to do is put hands together. Link your fingers together. Pretend that you're pulling your hands apart. And that's hopefully going to allow you to increase that stretch down the left hand side. 5 more seconds. Arms back behind you just to engage your back a little bit more. And when you're ready, back to the middle, release your arms. And we're going to change sides. Right hand up, left hand relaxed. And over you go as you breathe in, lifting your body up. Stay as tall as you can. Don't forget, as you exhale, then we're bending deeper into this stretch. And as you exhale, we're tightening the muscles in your abs. And we're trying to keep the weight even on both feet. Bringing your hands back together. And we're trying to pull the hands apart, engaging those obliques. Stay tall. Breathe in as you lift up. Pretend like you're pulling those arms apart. And just making those arms go behind the back. And relax to the middle. Going into a standing back bend then. Interlace those fingers. We're lifting our chest, hands up above your head, and bending back behind you. And we're trying to make the neck as long as we can. Chin off your chest, using the strength of your neck to lift your head up. And your upper back is squeezing your arms back. Use your core strength just to stabilize the middle of your body. Inhale to lift. Keep on pressing back down between your feet. Engage the thighs to keep you balanced. Last 10 seconds. And if you need to bend your arms a little bit, then do like you did with the goalpost arms earlier. And release. Well done. Okay, now we're going to go into a squat hold. We're going to need a block again. Doesn't have to be a foam roller. It could be anything lightweight to put between your legs. So what we're going to do here is just bend our knees slightly in this position. Once you've got the block comfortably between your legs. Trying to keep our back flat. And we're squeezing between the legs. And the focus of this squat hold is to try to get the weight through your hips and your bottom. Hands out in front of you. Try to avoid pushing your weight forward. Try to get your weight to go back behind you like you're sitting down. Feel it through your hamstrings, the back of the thighs, and through your glutes as well. And hands out in front. See if you can go a little bit lower as you're in this position. Remember, we're trying to get the weight going through the heels, through into the back side, into the hips. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Last exercise then, we're going to look at a forward fold. So here, the front of the thighs and the abs are going to be engaged all the way through this exercise. It's going to be a stretch in the hamstrings, but we're going to be really active engagement in the front of the body and relax in the back of the body. Okay, you'll need a block again here. It can be a longer one or a shorter one, entirely up to you, dependent upon the flexibility that you have in your hamstrings. Okay, we're squeezing our hips together or our legs together, and we're trying to keep a real flat back in this position, slight bend in your legs. And we've got that active engagement through the front of the thighs and more of a relaxed passive engagement at the back. And obviously the lower that you can get down, probably the more flexibility you've got in those hamstrings. Really good when we're thinking about that power position. Strengthening the core whilst we're in this position as well and protecting the lower back. Stay strong in that position. And we're trying to fold the body in that strong position. and drop your hips in 3, 2, 1, and back up. It's a great effort, really good. I hope you've enjoyed doing some of those moves. Well done. I hope you enjoyed that. I find it quite difficult to do. Very tight hamstrings. No doubt some of you have got the same flexibility as me. But can vouch for this. Mr. Wallington and I have been working on this man flow yoga routines for some time now, for the last 3 or 4 weeks, and certainly felt there's a lot of benefit in terms of strengthening our core, strengthening our gluteals, and flexibility in our hamstrings, which is helping to reduce injuries. If you're not doing some of this flexibility work, the yoga, the Pilates sessions that we're doing on a Wednesday, I highly recommend it, particularly considering the amount of hours that we're sat at the desk at the moment and the hunched over nature of working on a laptop or a computer. I'm filming this having just spent my busiest day with 5.5 hours at a computer today with the lessons that I've been doing, and it certainly makes a huge difference to releasing all the tension in my body and preparing myself for the next stage of my day. So I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you're doing your best to get some flexibility work and some yoga and some core work into your working week as well. Well done.